everybody. We're going full Matchbox this week because I got a lot of catch-up to play. This is Moving Parts Mix 1 for 2025. I know, I'm super behind. I just found Mix 4 in the stores. Look at that. Ooh, eye candy. Yeah, that video will be coming probably later than it should. But I have not taken a look at Mix 1. I have 2 and 3 ready to go, and now 4. So I gotta get moving so that when Mix 5 comes out, I can review it immediately. So we're gonna take a look at Mix 1 here. It only had 4 new releases in it. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure there were 2 per case, I guess. Because I don't know if there was any re-releases from last year. Or unless I skipped something that wasn't interesting. I don't remember. This was like January. So we're gonna start with the Alfa Romeo Stelvio. This is the second release of the Stelvio, debuting in red last year. And speaking of debuting in red, the Porsche Taycan right there also did last year. Stelvio I like a little bit better than the Tonale. A little bit. I still don't like either of these cars. But the Stelvio is the larger variant. I still don't know if it has a third row. But it's a pretty cool car. It's still got the Alfa Romeo design language. Kind of looks like a SUV version of the Giulia. Nice headlights, your Alfa Romeo badge, your grills, black wheels with your black cladding. There's your opening doors, there's your moving part. I like how the moving parts line kind of mirrors the main line because you can get like more variety of these models, because I don't think Matchbox would ever do a Stelvio and a Tonale in the main line together, but with the moving parts line, they can do the Tonale in the main line and the Stelvio in the moving parts. And I think even the Hornet is supposed to be coming in the moving parts, but don't quote me on this opening hood. I think that was the plan. It was at the Matchbox convention last year. I don't know if that's still happening, but I remember hearing something of it. I don't know. I'm not going to miss it if it doesn't happen because I absolutely hate the Hornet. So yeah, there's that. Stelvio on the liftgate here, Q4, so the Quattro, or like the 4-wheel drive badge. Taillights, I don't like how they have like a weird highlight around them. The exhaust is cool though, built into the cladding there. And a great color and looks good with the black trim. Great release. And it's a full gasoline vehicle too, I might add. I'm probably going to have to be specifying that with all these new Matchbox because they want to go full electric, and not many people know about Alfa Romeo. So like, yeah, this one's a full gasoline Alfa Romeo. They do have an electric car coming soon. It looks like the Tonale, but it isn't. So I don't know anything about that, but it actually kind of looks good. People are complaining like, oh, Alfa Romeo fell off, but I'm like, I don't know. They have to do something, and while you might not want an SUV, it's a good looking SUV, and it's electric, so they probably won't be braking much unless there's electrical issues. It's a Stellantis product that can happen. Here's the Porsche Taycan Gran Turismo. So sort of a wagon version of the Taycan, which is totally amazing that it exists. I personally like the Taycan. It's a good looking car. And I like wagons, so the Sport Gran Turismo here is kind of the best. I don't know, best. Yeah, I'm lost. But this is the second release, as I previously stated, also debuting in red last year. It's in this like pewter gray color, which Audi and Porsche have very much loved. It's interesting that the e-tron does not have a wagon variant, but the Porsche does, because they are the same car, if you didn't know. Opening doors. There's your taillight bar, which doesn't completely fill in the taillight slot. Taycan GTS. On the back there, you got a full panoramic sunroof. The headlights look great. I love the little vents alongside it there for airflow. And then your front vent there, probably for the coolant system. The EV design works really well on this vehicle because it's a very simple vehicle, but it's also small, so you don't have all this dead space of the grilllessness to fill. And EVs still need grills for the coolant systems, so you can have air conditioning, for the condenser system, so you can have air conditioning, and the coolant system to cool down the batteries. It just depends on where the vents are. Like I like to talk about all the time, because the Kia Niro is an amazing car. The vents are actually the quarter panels, and there's a plastic cover over them that takes the vents into the coolant system, or to cool down the coolant system. I don't know. If you understand cars, you understand. If you don't, you don't. It's I don't know. I freaking fix these things, and I don't know how to talk about them. It's weird that the interior's kind of got like this matte finish on it, like it's been painted. Like, it doesn't look like raw plastic. It looks painted, which is pretty cool. Got mirrors on the door. And the black wheels. It's a pretty car. Those are 2 repeat castings. Here are 2 new castings. This is the Jeep Grand Cherokee, new for 2025, which is now featured on the moving parts stuff. I don't know if it was last year, but... And, of course, it debuts in the National Parks livery, which isn't a normal thing for Matchbox castings to debut in the National Parks livery, but this one does. Trying to think of the last casting to do that. It might have been the Jeep, or it might have been another Chrysler product, the Ram police truck, I think, debuted in the National Parks livery. But yeah, this thing's pretty cool. It's very weird to have a modern Cherokee in Matchbox line, because it's just a very bland vehicle, at least in its normal form. Not so bland when you have a Hemi. This is the JKM Trackhawk. I believe Trackhawk. Thought it was the Trackhawk. And they don't say, because it's probably not licensed. Supercharged. That's Trackhawk, right? It's pretty similar in size to the Matchbox. A little longer. So the Matchbox is probably like a 168, maybe 67. So almost 164. I think it sits a little too low too, and especially in the front there. It's kind of got that rake in the front there. I don't know if I care for that. And it's a pre-facelift too, isn't it? Jeep Cherokee Limited 18. Oh no, 18 might be the first year of the facelift. It doesn't look like the facelift. I don't know. When did the new gen come out? The current gen came out 23, I think. I feel like it got another update in 20 with a different headlights. I think that's where I'm confused. I don't know though. I don't really care, because I hate the Jeep Cherokee, the Grand Cherokee at least. Well, the regular Cherokee's worse currently. I prefer the older ones. But the gimmick on this one is actually rear doors, and the rear windows are actually cracked, so you can put your fingernail in there to open them. Except I just cut my fingernails, and it's not happening. So get a screwdriver. There we go. Now, of course, you got the little ugly pivot points on the bottom here, but like the Crown Vic does, like the Durango does. Actually, the Durango, I think, hit them a little better. It is interesting that we got the Cherokee and the Durango, which, mind you, are both the same cars on the same platform. The Durango might be a little longer. I don't think the wheelbase is longer. I think it's just the body is longer. But yeah, you got some supplies back there. I don't know if there's any variants on what you can get back there. This one's got luggage. Is there one without luggage? Is there one with a dog? I don't know. Matchbox likes to do that sometimes. But, oh yeah. You got to be very careful with this door, because it will chip the paint. And actually, I think I already did. Yeah, it will chip the paint. This door shut okay. But I've heard this is a common issue. Probably shouldn't have opened it, but I kind of forgot until now. Oh, it did chip the paint. Pardon my language, but this is a terrible design. Probably have to cut that out. I can't shut this door. I can't. which oddly enough is an issue with the real vehicles. I've had issues with. Oh jeez, this is not good. This is not good. How did that side shut okay? Yeah, you can already see I chipped it there. There's like it's not even close. No wonder why it was hard to open. Well, just slam it shut. It was already chipped. Oh well. At least this is the display side. I display everything facing the left, so or facing the right, so yeah, that's no bueno. That's no bueno. Starting off the year great, right? Yes, we are, because we got a brand new Ford Mustang. I personally like the new Mustang. I like the design. Much needed improvement. And this is just a regular one, I believe. Is this even a 5.0? Or is it an do they still offer it with an EcoBoost? I mean, oh, it's a GT, so it's got to be a V8. No, the GTs are 6 cylinders, aren't they? I have no idea what I'm talking about. I've never really cared about Mustangs until now. I like the early 2000s Mustangs, like when it came back in 05. And then after they changed that design, I didn't care until now. This looks amazing. The rear end's like Camaro-like. I think we've disclosed that before. Actually, taillights are very crispy on this one. I like that. A little bit of underspray behind the spoiler here. I don't think they sprayed all the way around. GT 69 miles. No front plate, so I can't confirm or deny that. Headlights are very grainy. I hate these details, but the trim on the grill is a regular decal, no grain. And then the grill itself is grainy, overlapping it, oddly. There's your hood vent. And there's your... Oh, maybe it is a V8. Probably should have, before I made myself sound stupid, probably should have just looked at the engine. I can't tell. No, it's got to be a 6. No, there's 4. It's an 8-cylinder. It's got to be. Hood shut's nice. The overhang on the headlights is kind of weird. The real car does do that, but it's just the matter of these lines can't be as fine because it's so small. Great casting, though. This makes up for the Grand Cherokee by far. Here's the Mustang. Of course, it's old new. Everything had black wheels in this mix except for the Cherokee. It's old news, I know, but I like it, and I had to get this video out, so there we go. That's actually very nice. Much better than the Hot Wheels one, and the Hot Wheels one's the Dark Horse. So, there you go, guys. That's Mix 1 2025. You all know that. See you on the next one. Take care, everybody. Bye for now.